Bilavsky, you, Dr. Breslau, and Dr. Shangold published in the Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology a report on meprobamate in pregnancy.
As far as I know, I think it was the first large-scale study that was done at meprobamate in pregnancy. You see, through the facilities of our large group practice and our affiliation with the General Hospital across the street from our offices, we see many hundreds of patients year in and year out. In the follow-up of these patients, we do find that a number of them develop anxieties which may become worse as pregnancy proceeds.
Did you find, Dr. Bilavsky, that there's an actual connection between the anxiety and tension and symptomatology in pregnancy?
Definitely. That was proved in our very first study. I believe Dr. Breslau could give you more details about that study.
Yes, the study comprised 881 cases, running the gamut of prenatal symptomatology. We put these patients on meprobamate.
Was this to relieve the emotional upsets, the anxiety?
Well, primarily for that, and to relieve insomnia.
And what were your results, Dr. Breslau?
Anxiety, irritability, tension, restlessness, and crying were relieved in 88% of the patients. Insomnia in 95%.
May I interrupt here, Dr. Breslau? May I say that we were very much surprised that while we achieved remarkable results in the treatment of these nervous disorders, that in our study we accidentally discovered that many of these symptoms that we associate with pregnancy and which we thought were due to some organic disturbance, surprisingly were relieved by the use of the meprobamate.
Which in particular?
For instance, the morning sickness was relieved in 90% of the patients.
Yes, and headaches in 72%, and numbness and tingling in 89%.
What made you think that the physical conditions are due to emotional disturbances?
Well, let me preface my remarks by introducing this thought. In the past decade, the field of psychosomatic medicine has come to fore, and we are recognizing more and more that organic complaints or physical complaints can have an emotional background. Nausea and vomiting we find by and large to be an emotional disturbance. Disturbances which we've attributed to endocrine factors. We now find that these complaints are relieved by the administration of meprobamate.
Did Miltown have any effect on the leg cramps which sometimes occur in pregnancy, Dr. Breslau?
It may surprise you, but 86% of the 78 patients with leg cramps which did not respond to calcium therapy responded to meprobamate.
Dr. Breslau, I understand you followed up with a more recent study.
Yes, we were so satisfied with our initial study that we continued an additional 387 cases. One of the main complaints was nausea and vomiting. In 290 cases, we found that 248 improved without any trouble whatsoever. And in the emotional group, of which there were about 90, 84 improved, with only 6 falling by the wayside.
I should like to say here, too, that the physical symptoms we spoke of previously, the numbness and tingling of the fingers and the feet, the leg cramps, and associated headaches and backaches and other miscellaneous complaints of such nature, by and large were relieved by the use of meprobamate.
What was your experience as to the safety of this tranquilizer, especially with regard to pregnancy and the fetus, Dr. Bilavsky?
We never had any trouble with Miltown, and after almost 5 years' experience with it, I can be quite definite. Meprobamate can be used throughout the prenatal period with complete safety, both to the mother and unborn child.
Now, I believe in your paper you pointed out that you have tried several of the other tranquilizers.
Yes, we've tried many of the other tranquilizers, the Rewolfia preparations, which are more often used for the management of hypertension than as a tranquilizing agent. And then there's the phenothiazine derivatives. They have various effects: antihistaminic, antiemetic, hypotensive, and anticholinergic.
None of these is necessary. In effect, therefore, they're not desirable.
We don't want a patient that's going to have a jaundice. We don't want a patient whose blood pressure is going to drop very low. We want something that will act as a true tranquilizer, where there are no autonomic effects, there are no side effects, and the patient is controllable because of a single action.
Excuse me, there is one additional effect from meprobamate. Which is a desirable effect. It relaxes the skeletal muscles, which we feel is an integral part of tranquilization.
Dr. Bilavsky, do you feel that if your prenatal patient was treated with meprobamate, that this facilitates delivery and adjustment to the child?
I believe that a fear-free patient is a more relaxed patient. And relaxation does definitely facilitate labor and delivery.
In what dosage do you use Miltown?
During our prenatal course, Miltown given in dosage of 400 milligrams tablets twice a day, morning and afternoon or morning and evening.
This is an individual factor, though.
Yeah, of course it has to be individualized. And some patients we've used the long-acting capsule of Epispam, which can be given once a day and act as a slow-release medication.
Now, in conclusion, does your most recent study confirm the results in your study published in 1957?
Our most recent work most definitely confirms our work of the first paper. We can say with all sincerity that meprobamate in the form of Miltown or Meprospam can be used with safety throughout pregnancy.
And as our observations continue through the years, the excellent results are still being obtained.
There you have it.